Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Leftovers podcast. My name is Cooper, as always.
My name is Riley.
I'm Paige.
So we're back with some quality alien fan fiction,
Indeed. In the spirit of raiding Area 51.
which doesn't happen until September, but it's the big meme right now.
It's fine.
We gotta capitalize, okay?
I saw a news story that was just like, government officials.
Yes.
Off to a good start.
They do not know if all the people that's saying that they agreed to go to raid Area 51 are Russian bots or not.
Oh, oh, it's the aliens.
Let's hope they think that they are Russian bots so that when the real raid happens, it'll be kind of
The
on the
real
down low.
raid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're caught off guard. Listen, flights to Arizona have spiked for like around the time when the raid is supposed to
Listen,
happen.
if that's not evidence, nothing is, okay? Come on, guys. You know what to do.
Book your flights now.
There's gonna be like a thing of like 30 people went missing around Arizona.
30 people shot outside Area 51.
They're like, because the government officials are like, we're really worried about this because we have armed men in there and that could be dangerous. And I'm like, yeah.
It might be.
We can outrun their bullets.
You mean the Great Massacre of 2019? Please, guys.
Surely they can Naruto run fast.
Aquarius in the front, okay?
They can't
We're
kill
going
us all.
first.
I saw a thing that was like based off of your astrological sign. It's where you are. And it had it like a circle, you know? And Aquarius was in the middle.
You're gonna
I
die.
was like, okay, so there's no survival for me.
I definitely lived.
She was on the outside.
Where is the Pisces? Where am I
I
placed?
can't
I can't
remember.
the Pisces because
They
I
weren't
didn't
as
know you were a
memorable.
Pisces.
I didn't
Well, I
know
guess
that
I'm
either.
safe.
Now we can read really shitty horoscopes for you.
Wow, thanks.
You're
Just what I
welcome.
needed in my day-to-day.
Now I'm just gonna send you one every day.
Oh, please don't.
Unprompted.
Please don't. I won't read it.
How dare you?
I won't read it unless you are like in person and you force me to read it.
I could just read one aloud right now.
Alright, do it.
Okay.
Fuck the fan fiction.
Pull
This is
up-
what
pull it
matters.
So, Cooper, July 24th, 2019.
Uh-huh.
Your heart could experience some wild fluctuations today, Pisces. It may seem as if your emotions are on a derailing train. The best thing to do, if this is the case, is sit by yourself and write them down. Compose a letter, song, or journal entry. You're much less confused than you think. When in doubt, consult someone you love and trust, and go with your instincts.
Okay, well, that sounds like something I would do, but I hate that.
So,
I'm falling apart! How did they know?
so Cooper, what are you confused about?
What am I
When are you gonna write
Everything.
a journal entry?
After this podcast.
Or a song? And can we use it as our intro song?
Yes, you can. If you ever see it. I'll just probably burn it right after I write it, just like everything else I create.
Your love for today
For just today.
Today's
It
matches
changes daily.
is Scorpio. Your friendship is Taurus. And your career is Leo. I have no idea what the fuck any of that means. Ooh, your
Me,
general mood is a
IRL.
yike, apparently.
Yeah.
Your success is 2 out of 5 stars.
2 out of 5.
You'll never
Coopers?
be successful because of the stars. Congratulations.
You know, Coopers are more generous than stars.
You and your Cooper rating. You and your fucking... You're not even worth a star.
It's-
How can you claim to be worth a star?
I don't need a star when I have a Cooper, which is much more valuable. It's much more prestigious than a
I don't
star.
think so.
I think so.
So, the tag this week
Thank you.
was aliens. Or alien. Or what the fuck ever. You know.
Aliens.
And
I use
something
the S.
that is foreign.
Yeah, alien or aliens. You know. It's all good.
Something out of this world.
And it was really hard because all of it was just essentially
It
fucking
was 95% Doctor Who.
by the same girl who was really
Who really
into
likes Doctor Who.
Rose, the Meta Crisis 10, and just 10. She wanted them all to fuck. really badly. And
Really
she wrote
badly.
it multiple times. The same prompt multiple times. When she could have just made like a one-shot thing and added them all and kept it clean, cleaned up the fucking search place, you know?
That's true. She could have done that. But she didn't.
She had to be an inconsiderate little fuck.
Yeah.
But anyways, who wants to go first?
You want you?
Ooh. Maybe you shouldn't go first this time because you went on for an hour last time.
Yeah, maybe not, Cooper.
It was a great hour.
Maybe I shouldn't go first, Cooper.
Fine, I'll go first.
Yeah, why don't you go first?
So I've read some Groot fan fiction because I was looking for Thanos fan fiction and I couldn't find any. And the only Thanos fan fiction I found was mostly about fucking Groot. So I read... There's no sex.
Damn
There's no
it.
smut. It's... The two
always
works I
wanted
read
to
are
fuck a
part
tree.
of an anthology called Growing Up Groot.
Aww.
And the first one is really short. It's like 1,000 words or something. Mm-hmm. Very short. And it's like, Groot comes home from his first week at school. And he's like, I am Groot. To all the Guardians of the Galaxy who are all living in the same house. And they're like, how was your day, Groot? He's like, I am Groot. And they're like, oh, what happened at school? I am Groot. Oh, he needs to do something. I am Groot. It's a science project you need help with. I am Groot.
You're delivering this dialogue beautifully.
This is pretty much how the whole fan fiction went. You got the first spot in the school play, the starring role. I am Groot. You're getting bullied at school. No, Groot wouldn't get bullied. I am Groot.
I am Groot.
He needs help with the school project. I am Groot. He needs to interview his grandparent.
Are they just trying to figure out what do you need?
That's the first half. Okay. And then turns out he has this school assignment where he has to interview one of his grandparents about the olden times. And he goes around to each person and he's like, Are you my parents? Who's my grandparents? And they're all like, No, Groot.
Do you see that tree outside?
Well, Groot gets a little upset, and they're like, well, to cheer you up, we're going to take you out to dinner. So go get ready. And Groot goes to his room with all of his stuff, a little sad because he doesn't know who his parents are or his grandparents.
He was adopted.
Well, when he goes to his room, he opens his laptop and he shuts the door, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck is gonna happen? But it's just like he starts looking through like his family lineage, and he finds out that Gamora and Nebula have an adoptive father, Thanos.
Yes.
And that's where it ends.
Okay.
He wants to interview his granddad, Thanos?
About the old times, before the snap.
The olden times.
The good old
days.
The good old days.
Boys.
It was good old pre-Thanos Fortnite days.
R.I.P. in peace.
R.I.P. in peace.
I've never seen that movie. I never will.
I haven't seen the second one.
I haven't seen the second one either. I'm
Yeah,
waiting
that's
for
the
it to
one.
come out on Netflix.
Have you seen the first one?
No, I've never seen either of them.
Then why did you say that's the one?
No, that's the one where they all are dead.
Not all of them, just half.
Yeah, just half.
A good half. Nice Guardians of the Galaxy t-shirt, by the way.
Oh yeah. How topical.
How topical. So, the second fanfiction I read is just about Groot's fucking death
Oh.
and the funeral.
No, is this in the same universe?
Yes.
How did it go?
Well,
from
it's either like the same universe or they're just like stories about Groot.
same author, I assume?
Yes. Same
How
author.
did he go from being a teenage boy to dying?
He met his
I don't know.
grandfather.
Actually, I think they are all related, and I think this story was supposed to come before teenage Groot coming home from high school.
This is his death.
Pretty much at the end of the first movie. And Rocket
Spoilers.
Raccoon's like, "You fucking Groot, he's dead. I'm gonna get the funeral together." And he's doing it, and the guy at the funeral parlor is like, "Yeah, so we can do a cremation." And he's like, "How fucking dare you?"
we can burn this tree.
We can burn this tree. And Rocket's like, "No."
We're planting
They
this tree.
plant him standing up so he can walk by his dead body.
Yay.
Yeah, so like right after Groot dies, Rocket takes like a stick and plants it, and then he starts like planning the funeral. And the funeral guy's like, yeah, I mean, I guess we could do an open casket, but there's not much of him in the show. Not much of this tree man.
Just
so we can burn
get a
him.
little branch.
Rocket gets really upset. And he's like, you're going to do an open casket, and we're going to bury Groot. And the guy's like, oh, okay then. I guess we'll do it.
Just get some twigs and say that it's Groot's corpse.
It would work. Fucked up, but it would work. So, after that, the actual funeral happens. And Rocket, like, gets up, and he talks about how great of a friend Groot was. And how good of a person. And at the beginning, he's like, you know what Groot said to me? And they're like, I am Groot. And he's like, yeah, how'd you know? Very funny, guys.
Oof.
And after that, like, after the whole funeral happens, Rocket gets really fucking depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter Quill comes in and he's like, listen, I know you're going through a hard time. I have this book for you that might help. And he pulls out The Giving Tree. Rocket's
Giving Tree.
Rocket's like, what the fuck is this?
I'd be pissed off at every person.
Oh, he was a little mad at first. And then he read the book and he was like, oh my god, this tree is Groot. Aww. I love this book. And he goes to bed, or he like goes back to his room, and he hears something, and he's like, what the fuck is this noise? What's this noise? And he like goes to the potted plant, and it's Groot. It's baby Groot.
Good thing they didn't burn him.
Yeah, it's a good thing they didn't cremate Groot.
If only they had.
If only. If only. But they didn't.
They didn't.
They didn't.
He's
and now we have baby Groot. And baby Groot's
Baby Groot's a little bit more annoying.
Baby Groot is annoying. Because
But
he's
luckily-
like, I am Groot. And he's like, oh my god, this is great. And he spends the rest of the day being happy with baby Groot. And then he puts him in, like, the back room of the ship. And he tries to go to sleep, but baby Groot kicks up a stink because he doesn't like sleeping alone.
Okay.
So Rocket's like, hey, baby Groot, you want to sleep with me in my room tonight? And baby Groot's like, I am Groot. And that's where it ends.
Ew.
Uwu.
How adorable.
It's a very Uwu fan fiction.
If I was the author, I would just copy I am Groot and hit paste every time I needed it in the story.
I mean, honestly.
Just make it seem like it's like 30 chapters and have 29 of the chapters be I am Groot.
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 I am.
What would you rate
Groot.
this?
Well, considering like the whole funeral fan fiction was mostly just like the end of the movie.
Yeah, right.
It was a little boring, but I didn't hate it. So it gets a solid 3 Coopers out of 5.
3 Coopers.
3 Coopers out of 5.
Which are definitely not stars.
They're not stars. They're better than stars.
They're not.
They're Coopers. And the other fan fiction, I would probably rate it like a 4 Coopers out of 5. I enjoyed it.
That's nice.
Nice. How adorable.
Thanos Granddaddy.
How woo.
You know, I saw that Cooper and Cooper moving truck the other day. It was right outside my house.
They know where you live.
They do. They're
They
coming.
do.
They're coming for me.
They're like, you're gonna join our
There can
fucking
only
company.
be one.
They were. There can only be one.
There can only
the truck
be
is
one.
called Cooper and Cooper.
There is only
There can
one.
only be 2.
There used to be 2.
There still is. I am alive.
For now.
For now.
Dun, dun,
It's okay. I have my sword. I can
I
fight 'em
have
off.
my sword. I live by the way of the samurai.
The Shimano pulled out his wakizashi
His wakizashi.
Oh god.
and jumped on Jesse's back.
A real classic, that one. Oof.
Very iconic.
I'll go next.
Yeah, you will.
So my fan fiction is a Dangan Ronpa fan fiction.
Yes, bitch, get it.
All right, it's called Speak by Mednin. Yep. And it's a ship between Gundam and Soda,
Oh, yay, my favorite.
which I didn't know was a ship, but I guess you
It's
know.
a big ship.
Why? Because of
Girls?
Sonya?
Yeah, because they both like Sonya.
I don't know who these people are. Someday I'll find out.
One day.
One day.
All right.
I almost booted up Danganronpa yesterday.
But you didn't.
I didn't.
This is why you're gonna
But
die.
I almost did. The urge is inside me.
To give you a little background on these characters and how they look like, it's all you need to know is Soda, he's like a mechanic. He wears a green jumpsuit and his hair is pink.
He wears
and
a yellow
beanie.
jumpsuit, you fucking fake.
I don't fucking remember. He wears... Are you sure it's not green?
It's yellow.
Maybe it's yellow-green.
Here he is.
Oh, I've seen him before.
And he has like shark teeth and a beanie.
Why does he have shark teeth?
I don't know.
He's hot.
And the other one is Gundam, and he's basically like Harry Potter, and he is a breeder for animals.
Isn't
and
he a
everything.
cool dude?
He looks like a weird ninja.
He is covered by a bunch of hamsters all the time.
He looks like one of the Gen 1 Pokemon trainers.
Yeah, he does.
What's his name?
If
Kage?
you replace the gerbils with Pokeballs, he's a Pokemon trainer.
He's really good with animals and everything, and he has like these hamsters called like the fork? What?
You know
the
what, you're
four
right.
dark devas of destruction.
I call them gerbils. I'm racist to animals.
You are racist. I'm calling PETA.
And
Please.
the write-up to this was Kazuichi, which is Soda, by the way. I misunderstood this summary when I first read it. Kazuichi never expected to see a breeder with a banged-up spaceship that won't talk to him. And I was like, oh, he's calling Gundam straight.
Oh.
And I was immediately like, well, you know, what if that's what they called the aliens that reproduce and fuck? They call them breeders.
Oh, God. I
Ooh.
don't like that.
That's
It
what
hurts.
my brain was saying. But then I realized, no, Gundam is an animal breeder.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You
Yeah,
fucking
it's fine.
breeder.
I'm sure it's
He's a
fine.
breeder.
I'm sure this whole fic is fine,
It's
right?
rated... I was like, what is that M for? It's rated T. The M is for gay people.
M is for gay people.
But,
I'll put that in my alphabet book
you're welcome.
for my
Please.
child. M is for gay people.
M is for gay people.
But it's rated teen and up, so there's no sex, because I was like, nope.
No.
Nope.
And apparently they live on a planet called Larion.
Laria.
And the year is 3025, you know.
Gotta be in the future.
And I don't know their fucking concept of money at all, because they're not on the fucking planet Earth. They have like 500 joules is what they call it, but Juels.
Yeah.
And, you know.
What, like the unit of energy?
Yes, you like that.
But it's just like money, I guess. And he owns, like, him and his dad work at this fucking, it's their own mechanic shop for spaceships to come on through, and they'll fix your
How
fucking spaceships.
quirky.
Haha.
Cool.
But they're like, we don't get a lot of business, it's kind of slow, like, whatever. Soda, by the way, it's implied that he's human. Like, his species is a species that you'd see from the planet Earth, you know? is
A
what they're
human.
saying. Well, yeah, because they mentioned, like, species or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, in one day, on a slow day, comes this most dinged up fucking spaceship he's seen in his life, right?
Yeah.
Out comes a guy with 4 arms
Oh.
and kind of darkish hair. Oh, wait, not darkish hair. Darkish skin. And, like, fucking weird hair that looks like it defies gravity. And that's supposed to be Gundam.
Okay.
I was like, I don't remember him having darkish skin.
No, I don't remember that.
Or-
either.
But
4
he didn't
arms.
have 4 arms either, so
yeah,
what
they're
the fuck
making some
ever.
creative edits.
So he comes into the store and he's like, what can I do for you? I see your spaceship is kind of like, it's a bit of a fixer-upper, huh? And Gundam just didn't say anything to him at all. And
Oh,
he's
what a
like,
cool, mysterious guy.
he's like, oh, maybe he doesn't speak English. Right?
Duh.
Right?
So I'm gonna pull out my translator, turn it to the language Zoran.
Zoran.
Zoran to fucking speak to him because it's the second most common language. Which I assume English would be the most common language in
Damn,
the
humans
universe.
really took over.
But not just
Those
any
colonizers
humans.
really
They
did.
really did.
English-speaking humans took over.
Fucking Americans, I bet.
Those Guntopians.
God.
And he was like, Ella o ya tulata?
I hate that you just recited that.
Or tala? And then Gundam just is like looking at him and he pulls out like a fucking like, I guess, an iPad of the future.
Okay.
And he's typing on it. And he's like, greetings, mortal.
Greetings.
I immediately went into the voice we used.
Yeah.
I am Gundam Tanaka. While cruising the universe with my fiendish beasts, a foolish coward hit my spaceship and bolted into hyperspace while on the quest for my transportation to receive a change of oil. I do not have the jewels required to pay for the other damages. That confuses me because he clearly does. Because I guess they forget that he just said he can't pay for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is fucking stupid because he's like...
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, he has an Earth name, Gundam Tanaka. So, does he just
Don't question this.
speak Japanese or Zoran
Don't
or
ask
something
questions.
else?
He's
Stop
speaking
thinking.
whatever language Soda's speaking. I assume it's English because it's written in English.
So he's just typing it out because
Yeah.
he's emo?
No,
or
they
edgy?
explain it. I'll get to that.
Okay, get to the good part.
And Gundam is like, not fucking Gundam, what's his name? Soda is like, I feel insulted. Am I not handsome enough to talk to or something?
Oh.
If somebody started typing like that to me, I would assume, I'm like, oh, they can't speak. You know, that's what I would be like. I wouldn't be like, how fucking rude.
Listen,
They don't think I'm hot enough?
Soda's a little bitch, okay?
He is. He's a little bitch.
Him and his sharp teeth.
And so he goes and checks out the spaceship, and he's like, wow, yeah, we gotta do a lot of work. It's gonna take 1 day or two to fix all of this. I'm like, why are you trying to fix all this? He just said he didn't have the fucking money for it, right?
He's doing it free of charge.
No, he
What
doesn't.
A nice
He's doing it because he loves being a mechanic.
And Gundam starts
loves
typing, and he was like, can you fix it in a day? You know, I am showing my evil beasts in a show 2 days from today. I will be showing my 4 dark devas of destruction, originally from Earth itself. And then it reveals their devas, you know, and they're like, nah, we're hamsters.
We're hamsters. Yeah, okay.
And then he says, hey, I have origins. Which I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't know what that means
What?
at all.
Wait.
I
Can
have
read it?
origins.
Hey, I have origins, 100%. What?
He says, hey, I have origins 100%, and I can get the car fixed in a day, but it will cost you.
The car.
I have origins.
I have origins?
It's a spaceship, so I don't know why they called it a car.
It's a space car.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Origin?
I
Is it
have
like
origins.
a define it?
Because they
Is it like a
said
premium
that
currency?
earlier, too.
The
Fibrltr.
Fibrltr.
Yeah, the Fibrltr gave him an amount. Like, that was his first company. What am I saying?
You can't talk.
Comp-
Neither can Gundam.
customer.
Componer.
Fellow,
You weren't helping me.
fellow
Well, I'm not
podcasters,
gonna help you.
I will return in a minute or 3.
So Riley and I figured out what, hey, I have origins means. Because Gundam says, they're originally from Earth. And Soda responds, hey, I have origins, meaning he has...
He's also from Earth.
Oh.
Yeah, my origins come from Earth.
That's the only thing.
It's
that
an
it could
alien
be.
wave speaking.
It's the only thing that I can think of.
And he was like, I can get the car fixed in a day, but it'll cost you. And he tries to pet one of the hamsters, and they're just hissing at him, you know, in sync. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, and they're the dark
Devas.
devas of destruction.
And then Gundam's like glaring at him, and he's like, thank you. That is intriguing. You were from the very planet my devas were created, and you see their mighty power. I will pay whatever is needed, but shall go no more than 300,000 jewels. And I'm like, you just said you had no money. Also, some guy earlier got paid. He paid the Fibrltr.
The Fibrltr.
He paid 500 jewels. So what's the difference?
I don't know.
300 for it
Okay,
to jump
hold
up
on.
to 300,000.
Imagine it's the Death Star, but with a lot of holes in it.
Okay, so he drives the Death Star.
Yeah, it has to. What else would it be?
Maybe he just has, like, no concept of money, and it's like saying, oh, I don't have any money, and then you give someone $100 bill. Because a lot to you is, like, $1 trillion.
I'm on the mindset also of, after a certain amount of zeros, it becomes meaningless in my mind, because I'm like, that's just a lot of money. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So,
TBH.
this part didn't really impact me next. And so just like 300,000, nah, I was thinking like 200,000. 300,000 is way too much for anyone to pay for a tune-up, damages, and other stuff.
Way too much.
Way too much.
And I'm like, all right, I know he's
It's
giving
100,000 more, but that's par for the course.
I know he took 100,000 off, but it's still 200,000, right?
What is the exchange rate for, like, dollars? Because I'm trying to visualize.
I don't know. No one knows.
And he was
I
like,
have origins.
and they were like, probably another reason why the shop doesn't make the most money is he can't rip someone off and he can't keep his mouth shut. Essentially, is what they were like.
It sounds like he's ripping him off.
And
200,000, 300,000 would be way too much.
And Gundam is just like, wow. And he's just like,
Wow.
But he's not saying any of this. He's still typing, by the way.
Wow.
He doesn't fucking speak. And Soda's just like, yeah, really, that's way too much. Have people been charging you that? You've been ripped off, haha. Well, I'll drop you off at your place, and then I'll come back here and work on this, and then I'll come pick you up tomorrow for your fucking spaceship. And I'm like, this is a very considerate offer you're giving me.
He's a very considerate boy.
I've never got, like, alright, I haven't gone to the mechanic myself, but I can't imagine going to the mechanic and being like, can you fix my car? And they're like, yeah, we're gonna need to
drive you
keep it.
home.
I'll drive you home. I'd be like, no, you're not.
As someone
Isn't
who has
this
been to the
space, too?
mechanic.
Yeah, I was like, surely.
What if he lives in Sector 12? Then what?
I was like, surely he lives on a different planet, right? Because this is space or something? But no, I think he lives on the same planet.
Okay.
I have origins.
I have origins. So I was just kind of surprised or whatever. Kazuichi was like, I'm going to shake this man's hand now. And all 4 of Gundam's hands come and shake his one.
Oh.
And I was like, ooh.
Oh,
that's awkward.
alright. You know what I hate in this world? When, like, you shake someone's hand and then they shake your hand, but then they put their other hand on top of yours.
Yeah.
I feel trapped when that happens.
Yes, it's like...
It feels like you're stuck here now. Like,
please let go, sir. Or ma'am.
your hand is mine. Like, you know.
Listen, anyone who does that, you can't trust them anymore.
Well, it's also like the people who try to squeeze the life out of your hand.
Big red flags.
I never know how much I'm supposed to squeeze someone's hand, so I'm like squeezing multiple times.
All right. What I learned in the Boy Scouts was when you're shaking a guy's hand, you need to be firm, but when you're shaking a lady's hand, you have to be like soft and gentle.
Oh god, where am I?
You're on the part where they were shaking hands.
And they were like, despite it being the year 3025 and people using hyperdrive all the time, Soda doesn't like it because it makes him nauseous. So if he used hyperdrive, he would just go and be in bed till the next month, is what they said. And I was like, okay. Whatever.
That's sick.
But he fixed his own spaceship car thing. Are they cars? I don't fucking know.
Space cars.
They're
Space
space
cars.
cars to, like, not have motion sickness and to not really use hyperdrive was what I got out of this. And besides,
Space cars.
driving normally saves fuel. But the car ride, which was only like a 20-minute car ride, space car ride, and he was like, I'm getting so fucking annoyed because it's quiet and the only interaction is with Gundam tapping me on the shoulder and typing and pointing where I'm supposed to go. And I was like,
Okay.
you don't know if this man has a disability or not, right? Like,
Also, like, you're that Uber driver who wants to talk to the people in the passenger seat.
That's
like,
gross.
no.
That's
Leave
gross.
them alone.
You're the mechanic that drove your customer home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you considerate and then all of a sudden you're no longer
Just like,
considerate?
get one of your other guys to take him home. Or, I don't know, just have the guy sit in the shop for a day.
Whole day.
Whole day. Listen, I've been in a mechanic shop for almost the whole day.
Sucks, man.
I feel.
And he gets him to his house and he drops him off and he's like, hey, sorry if I made you nervous or something. You know I can be intimidating, but I won't bite despite my shark teeth. And he was like, this guy would surely get the joke because he knows about animals, right? You know?
Yes.
He knows about animals
his
from
4
Earth,
dark
too.
devas of destruction.
Yeah. But he doesn't hear the guy laugh or anything. The guy just types. And he's like, Inwarian, because that's the type of person he is. He's a Warian.
A Warian.
Inwarian.
At least that's how I'm saying it.
Inwarian.
Inwarian.
We do not speak to others unless we have formed a deep bond. As you are a complete stranger, I've made the decision not to use my voice.
Well, then they gotta form a deep bond.
I was like, wow.
Do they form a deep bond?
And Soda was like,
How deep?
It wasn't me. Awesome. And he laughs and he's like, my bad, didn't know. Thanks for clearing it up. I'll pick you up tomorrow. Oh, wait. What is that I see over there? You have deer cats?
Deer cats.
And in case the name wasn't obvious enough, the author
cats.
clarifies deer body, cat face. In case
I was hoping cat body deer face.
I was hoping
personally.
like a
it'd
cat.
be cuter, honestly.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would be a cat with antlers.
I just have the ugliest animal
deer
picture.
body cat face.
Because you know, like those fluffy round cat faces?
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing on a deer body, but like ginormous head.
See, what I'm imagining is just like a normal sized deer and just a tiny ass cat
Yeah,
head
right.
on the neck.
I'm just picturing a giant head. But, and he's like, oh shit. Ah, man.
Ooh,
They're snuggling the 4-armed male, you know, is what they called Gundam.
the 4-armed male.
He's like, I want to reach out and pet it. But the deer cat started hissing at him.
Oh no.
And he's like, no. Why do animals hate me?
And they all hate him.
And he's like, you have approached the beast in a way she deemed unworthy. Perhaps if you desire, I shall show you, how to, approach her. For you not accepting 300 jewels as payment. And fucking Soda's like, wow, this guy is so fucking nice. I will fucking...
What?
Yeah, that sounds
wasn't
great.
very nice.
Teach me how to approach him. Anyway, I'm leaving now. I would have been like, we're doing this right now,
Yeah, right?
No, he just leaves, and he goes, and he works for the rest of the day on the fucking spaceship. Gets all the dings out and shit. And they mention using ancient technology of wrenches and screws.
Ancient.
Kazuichi happily covered the new motor. 200,000 jewels and taking apart and rebuilding a spaceship in one day. It said fucking spaceship right there. It said fucking spaceship.
A spaceship, not a car.
But they said car earlier too.
It's just a spaceship with
Why
wheels.
do you have to categorize it, man? It can be both.
Just don't think about it. Turn your brain off.
But
Turn your brain off.
why did he get money? But anyway.
Don't think about it.
He did it all in one day. He took apart a spaceship and rebuilt it in one day.
That's impressive. What a beast.
Mm-hmm. And he got sleep too,
What a guy. Did it in a day.
Get it.
And he was like, and I'm gonna learn how to get close to an actual real life non-mechanical animal. The Warian wasn't too bad looking either.
Okay.
And he's like, no. I only like this guy's ship. And, he gets to repair for an amount of money to cover half of all the expenses of the shop. Yes, the guy's ship is what I like, not him or anyone else. After all, the guy won't even talk to me. And I'm like, because you're a stranger you just met.
With shark teeth.
He just told you how his
One
culture
day he'll
works.
talk to you when
And-
you form a deep bond. You just need more points.
And the next day, Soda goes to pick him up, and he sees the 4-armed male petting the deer cat next to him. And he's like, raise your palm towards the demon, and then let it sniff you.
The demon.
And if she deems you're worthy, she will allow you to pet her. And Soda's getting really excited because he holds out his arm. The deer cat's sniffing him, and he's like, finally, I will get to pet an animal. I will get to pet an animal. And then it hisses at him and walks away.
Me.
And he was like,
Dab on that hater.
Gundam was like, she is too advanced for you. Let's try. Let's try my 4 dark devas of destruction. Be careful though. If you're not careful with them, I will snatch them away. And he's like, okay. So he holds his palms out and he allows all 4 of the hamsters to crawl onto his body. And the hamsters are like, yes, we love it here. And And they start crawling all over his body, going on his hat and arms and everything. And he's like, this is sick! Yeah! He's like, alright, well, we can go and get your spaceship now. Is it cool if on the ride there, they stay on my body?
What?
And Gundam's like, sure.
Okay.
Still typing out clickety-clack, And do you think the only reason they gave him 4 arms is so he can still maneuver the Devas and type at the same time?
Yes.
Okay. They were like, man, he doesn't have enough arms for them. We'll just give him more arms.
Let's make him an alien. That'll fix it.
Hot.
And,
You know what a guy with 4 arms can do.
Also, it's just, poorly written, where it's just, the breeder types, period.
Okay.
And I was like, what?
The author doesn't type.
No, and then it shows...
The breeder. Fucking breeders.
That
am
was
I right?
one
Fucking
sentence.
breeders.
He was like, yay, they're not fucking biting me or whatever. Oh, and they do this whole paragraph where he types out all the names of the Devas of destruction.
A whole paragraph.
It's a whole fucking paragraph where they're talking about the full names and everything, which we don't need to know because you can just Google
P.
that.
No. That's the only one I remember.
John
Sandy.
P.
Sandy.
And so they go back, and he's like, I fixed up the dings, changed the oil, replaced the floor, and replaced the floor of the fucking spaceship.
The
He
whole
took it
floor.
apart
in one day.
and put it back together.
For only 200,000 joules.
It's a new ship at that point, isn't it?
How much are ships then?
But tell me, at what point did it become a new ship?
I don't like this question.
I think you sensed it was a deeper question than you were prepared for.
It was. I was like, I'm not going to answer this.
This is the wrong podcast for those philosophical questions.
It might be.
This isn't meant for it. At what point is it a new person?
At what point?
And so he was like, well, here's your fucking spaceship. Here's your hamsters. Because, Gundam's like, okay, snap. And then all the hamsters start crawling off of Soda's body, which wigs me out the way I'm describing this.
The way that you moved your hands.
It's a little weird.
And jumping onto Gundam and going back into his scarf and everything. Oh, they implied that Gundam was blushing earlier, because in the game, if Gundam lifts up his scarf, he's blushing, right?
Yes.
Ooh.
And when Soda was like, they're not biting me, he lift up his scarf. And I was like, why are you blushing to that? That's gross. I'm not a part of this.
I don't know. He's a weird guy with 4 arms.
That's racist.
How would you say that about Warriors? God.
But one of them was left behind. One of them was staying on Soda. Which one was it? Sandy. Sandy was staying on Soda's hat or a collar or whatever. It was burying, and Gundam's snapping at the fucking hamster. He's like, come here, but he's not saying that obviously because he's not going to speak in the presence of Soda.
Let me guess. Since Sandy formed a deep bond with Soda.
She starts fucking speaking to Soda.
You know what you need to do, little boy.
Save me. Save me.
Help him. Put him down.
All he does is make us perform at shows.
Safety.
But,
He's gonna form a deep bond with the 4-armed
Gundam's
guy.
forearms start, trying to grab the fucking hamster off of Soda's body, right? But the hamster...
Does he accidentally grope Soda?
No, but that's what I thought was gonna happen.
We're just
very
cynical.
I thought he was just gonna embrace him gently.
See, I was thinking this is where the deep bond begins, the forearm.
I think it's already began. But Sandy keeps on running from his hat to his hand, and he's just slap, 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 slap with his 4 hands trying to
He's
get
just killing Soda.
And then eventually he grabs Sandy. It was an unnecessary amount of time where they wrote the back and forth, by the way. Grabs Sandy with 3 of his hands. Or wait. No, he grabs Sandy, slaps it on Soda's hands, picks up Sandy with 1 of his hands. The 3 stay on Gundam's. And he puts Sandy in his scarf, I assume. Sandy goes into his clothing, alright?
Hot.
And he's still holding Soda's hand with his 3 hands. And Soda's like, and then the breeder they wrote notices this, and he's like,
The breeder.
He brings back his hands, pulls up his scarf,
Ooh.
and types with his other 3 hands. And he types a stutter. He writes, the thank you. And I'm like, oh, I can't
Why would you type a stutter?
Oh.
I would be like, this breeder's a furry.
He types the thank you.
Don't tell me
Boop
he's like
snoot.
one of those people who like role plays when they type.
Right.
When they're like talking to a girl, it's like approaches you nervously,
Sweating.
asks you,
fucking hate that
do
shit.
you want to go out?
With me.
Girl
hate that stuff.
types flat no, a flat no.
A flat
And then
block.
the guy's like, oh,
That's
Fade-
disappointing to hear.
turns
Tear
towards the
rolls
wall,
from
tear
eye.
rolls from eye,
I fucking hate that
walks
shit so
away,
much.
head down.
It's like, I hope I never run across that in my real life.
Well, I
But
mean,
like
with your
seeing the
luck,
Reddit
you might.
posts.
You
might.
probably would. If it's gonna happen to anyone,
There's
it's
been
you.
some close calls.
Yeah. Oof.
But, and he's like, I have my communication device on me at all times, so feel free to talk to me whenever. Of course, I will be typing, though.
Here's my number.
And
Call me
Soda's like,
maybe.
that sounds great. Feel free to stop by if you want to say hi. Nice meeting ya. And then the breeder goes off into a ship and takes off into hyperdrive.
Are you sure it's not a
Woodless
car?
beater.
And
It's
then
both.
Soda's like, I hope I can see the the 4 dark devils of destruction again. And then it's like 10 spaceships are at their fucking place. You know, they're being overworked at their place. There's 10 spaceships they need to work on. And him and his dad have been working, you know, hours and hours on each spaceship and everything. Luckily, they were all mainly oil changes, but at least 2 of them required major repairs, right? He's on car 3, while his dad is on car 2, which only means 5 more to go. And he was like, wow, great. And it sounds like, to me, that it's basically just oil changes, but some people have stuff that they need otherwise. Which I don't know why, because I don't know how long an oil change takes, right?
It takes like 10, 20 minutes.
So surely on these space cars, that would be 500 joules.
You're right, yeah.
And wouldn't cost that much.
Perhaps.
I mean, it wouldn't take that long, right?
No. I mean, it depends on where they go, but yeah, oil changes don't take that long.
Because he said luckily they were mainly oil changes. So that implies that it's easy to do.
Yeah.
But why have they been working on it for hours if it's easy to do? Whatever.
They're space cars. They're more complicated, I guess.
It's because it's both a car and a ship, that's why.
Well, he's on car 3 and his dad's on car 2.
Do spaceships even need oil changes?
Apparently.
Why don't you ask NASA?
You're right. I'll call them right now.
Call them.
I'll also ask about Area 51.
Where are they getting the
Call
oil?
NASA.
But,
Oh, you know, from the space oil fields
yes.
in the space Middle East.
Yeah.
He feels a tap on his shoulder and he turns around and there's the breeder holding his device being like, your father pointed me into this area. And he was like, I'll be on it as soon as I can. We got 5 other beings waiting.
Beings.
And my dad is going slow as shit right now. And he's like, heterochromic eyes widen, non-existent eyebrows furrow. With a look of determination, he types, is there any way that I, the great Gundam Tanaka, may assist you in your quest of completion? And he's like, really? And he's like, yeah. And he was like, then just hand me that hammer. Can you tell me why they need a fucking hammer?
To get the dings out.
Should I get the oil in the oil?
You know, you gotta like hammer a hole into the side of the
To
ship
put
to get
the
the
oil in. And then you gotta fix the hole, that's why it takes 3 hours.
Don't you know you can do any task with a hammer?
If I went to a fucking mechanic and I was like, I need an oil change, and they pulled out a hammer, I would be like, okay, I may not know anything about cars.
But I'm leaving.
But I'm pretty sure this ain't it, Chief. They're like, no, we're gonna just fucking hit it.
Yeah, you pull into the Jiffy Lube and pulls out a sledgehammer. Yeah, I'm just backing out of this
They pull out a
place.
chainsaw. Yeah.
And this is where the math fucks up.
Pulls out a gun.
This is where it fucks up some more. So Gundam is just handing Soda fucking utensils and everything.
Utensils. Here, take this fork.
And there were like
Take this
7
fork.
customers later, and his dad took one more. Everyone cleared out. Okay.
10.
There was 10
7,
customers.
3, and 2. There's already more than 10.
Yeah, there was 10 customers. Gundam was on... Not fucking Gundam. Soda was on 3. His dad was on 2. That leaves 5 left, but 7 customers later.
More showed up.
But they didn't say more showed up.
Get over it.
They don't think about it.
Stop thinking, you
Stop
brainlet.
And
using
his dad worked on...
Oh, that's
His
too good.
dad worked on 3. And he worked on 7. And he was like, but to be fair, his dad... To be fair to his dad, he had a God-sent assistant who was handing him stuff back and forth. Plus, his dad got the harder clients. And I'm like, so you got all the oil changes, and your dad actually did real work.
What were you doing with the hammer?
I know, right? And I was like, so also, you were going... Him handing you fucking tools made you go, like, all right, his dad did 3. It made you do 4 more faster than your dad. Why don't y'all guys just hire an assistant to hand out stuff if
right.
it goes that much faster?
Get a robot,
right?
surely.
Or, I don't know, get a tool belt. Put your tools on
Right.
your belt.
Get a tool belt. Fuck
Surely
you,
in the
Cooper.
year
You don't know shit.
3025.
Get a tool belt.
Get a
my
tool
ass.
belt.
Come on.
Also, they
A
wouldn't have
backpack?
hammers in 3025. They'd have, like, galactic hammers.
It'd have like galactic. And then it's, the oil is.
They would have a cream they would rub on the spaceship and the
And it's
dents would
filled
come
with
out.
oil.
Or it would be like in the second Guardians of the Galaxy where there's just this vacuum cleaner looking thing and you just spray it and it reconstructs the ship.
Listen, that's why their business is failing. Surely there's one that has all that fucking shit.
They
right?
need... Yeah, but they're expensive, They charge 300,000 joules. That's way too much.
But the Fibrltr was only charged 500.
The Fibrltr.
Yeah.
Elu Tala.
At 2 brute.
Alright. And then he's like,
This
"Why are
fanfiction
you
might be
here?
too much for us to handle.
Why are you here? What's up with your spaceship?" And he types and he's like, "My spaceship is fine." And he's like, "Did you come just to visit?" And he turns away and pulls up a scarf, blushes.
Blue.
And he's like, "Maybe he did come to visit." And ever since, they exchanged transmission lines.
Hot.
They talk, or well,
Alright.
the other just types. They refer to Gundam as the other a lot, even though they know his name. He said
The
his name
other,
earlier.
more like the main character.
And he found out
The Shimada.
that
pulled
his
out
eye
voice.
scar
No.
came from a battle with a lion lizard. Well, he told his secret that his hair and contacts aren't real, his real color.
What?
Yep.
And I was like, are they talking about Soda?
No, they're talking about Gundam.
But they said this. He found out that his eye scar came from a battle with a lion lizard, while he told his secret that his hair and contacts aren't real.
Oh. So they're telling each other secrets?
I also think... I do think that's true, actually.
Okay. I was like, I'm not good on my Dangan Ronpa.
I don't know about
apparently.
context, but I think Soda's hair is dyed.
They even talk
No,
about how
I thought it was
his-
naturally pink.
To be fair, there are probably some naturally pink hair colors in Dangan Ronpa.
You're right.
They even talk about how his mom was sweet but passed away, while Soda's mother ran away.
Why are you mixing it up?
I was like, who's Kazuichi? That's Soda. They even talk about how his mom was sweet but passed away while Soda's mother ran away to God knows where.
Okay,
Ugh.
damn.
And he's like, tomorrow the shop is closed. I can come check out your ship and see if it's still a good working condition. With a small smile, the other types. That would be smart, as I am not trained in the art of ships or any other mechanical machinery. They both smile. And visiting just one day tomorrow turns into him visiting every day on his day off. This goes on for a couple weeks to months. he does sometimes take care of the other's ship. Just, making sure that it's motion sickness proof and fixing out dents with his hammer.
The others.
And,
put in that oil with his hammer.
His hammer. He's got to hammer it in.
He always feels the other staring at him. Is this a racism, honestly? Because
honestly, I was gonna be like, why are they alienating the alien?
I know, right?
It's fucked up.
How could they?
And he's like, I feel the other watching me while I fix the ship. Why can't he just trust me? Like, I know he uses the ship to go around and show all his beasts to the universe and everything.
His dark devas of destruction.
But why doesn't he just trust me? And I'm like, why are you... What? I was like, it makes sense. That somebody's like, hey, what are you doing to my space car, right?
Yeah.
It's not that he doesn't trust you. It's just like, I'm just going to look at this.
I mean, he's got nothing better to do, right?
Also, fucking Gundam also taught him how to approach the animals, and the cat deer no longer hisses at him. It allows him to pet him.
Aww.
Oh.
So that's nice, I guess.
Their deep bond is deepening.
And he's
Hot.
like, how come you stare at me when I'm working on your ship?
You stare at me.
They say your ship a lot, or ya a lot.
Your ship.
And
Yeah.
he widens his eyes and he looks at him. He's like, I mean, I've done good work on your ship, and you can trust me.
You can trust
I never
me.
overcharged you, and I know a bit about you.
My name
so
is
why do
Joey
you look
Wheeler.
at me when I'm working on your ship?
See.
Is what he says.
Soda.
And the other starts typing, and he is basically like, you are the most talented person to work on my ship. My ship is in the most capable hands. I stare at you, not because I have lack in you. Lack in you? Lack of trust in you or your skills. And he's like, then why do you look at me? I mean, even your animals
You
like
sound
me.
like meow.
I have not been consistent on Soda's voice, and I don't know if anyone's noticed. And I like them. And I like
them, and I like ya.
And he was like, oh, did I just say I liked ya? And I was like, I would have completely been like, okay. Like, not like...
I would have taken it like, oh,
friendship.
we're friends.
I would have been like,
Yeah.
hey, Riley, I like ya and everything. So it's not like
Yeah.
I'm being like...
I like you.
Like, I'm in love with you. You know?
I'm just so in love.
That's how I say it. I like ya.
I like ya.
I like you, kid.
I like ya.
I like
Want to
ya.
go on a date?
Yeah.
I mean a friendly outing. Because I like you.
And he's like, I mean, I do like you, but we've been talking for a while and I have fun, and you have this way with
Yeah.
animals that...
Yeah.
And he gets cut off with a kiss to the cheek.
I like you, smooch.
And not even like a kiss on the mouth, a kiss on the cheek, and it interrupts him.
Come on.
This ain't harassment, I tell you.
And he's like, I'm as pink as my hair.
You little bitch.
That's what they wrote.
Uh,
And he's like, does this mean you like me too?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure with the
Yeah.
kiss, but maybe I'm read. And then he gets off when he feels a warm,
No.
a warm what? A warm what page?
I misspoke.
A warm what page?
I misspoke.
What did you say, babe?
How big is it?
He gets cut off. He gets cut off. Not that he gets off. This is rated T for teens. There's no sex. All right.
He gets off.
He gets cut off when he feels a warm, light pressure on his lips. He
Oh.
opens his eyes to see the breeder a couple inches in front of him. If someone's kissing me, I'm not going to refer to them as the breeder.
The breeder.
breeder.
Now.
A warm light pressure
Let's do some
from the
breeding.
breeder.
And he's like, oh, his blush is concealed by his semi-dark skin.
Okay.
Which is just something that was written that
Yeah.
I wanted to say that was written.
Why?
Yeah.
And then Gundam speaks, and he smiles, and he says, we can talk about it, Kazuichi, but I want to say Soda instead. And that's the end of the fic. He starts talking to him. He's like, we can talk about it.
Yeah,
Well, after
obviously.
kissing him.
You think the
It's a
talking
deeper
become...
bond. You'd think talking would be first and then kissing, right?
So, in
Listen,
his culture,
Gundam's a kiss first, talk later kind of guy.
You know what? He's just so romantic like that.
I like you.
in their culture, I like ya. Want to go on a date?
Yeah, see?
But does that mean they only talk to the people that they're dating / gonna marry / dating type of stuff. Like, do you not talk to your family and shit?
When they said deeper bond, I assume they meant, close friends, family, and romantic.
I did too.
Now that we're at the end, I feel like maybe they meant just romantic.
Listen, we don't know enough about their culture.
Where's the fic explaining Warrior culture?
Yeah, where's the deep lore prequel series? Okay, that's what I need. There's not enough information. I need it.
He needs
There's going to be a lot of hands in that makeout section.
I need information on every last detail of how this world works. Because if I don't get it, then this fic is fucking shit.
There's a lot of inconsistencies, honestly.
It sounds like he might enact violence upon this author if he doesn't get the lore.
I need it. Listen, if I don't have a detailed explanation on their tax system or their society at large or their legal code or their family histories, okay?
Culture.
I don't care. Okay, your fic is garbage.
It was kind of
Their
an interesting
history?
fic.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't bored while reading it.
The fic sounded entertaining, by the way, author. I'm not trying to diss you. I'm just memeing on you. I'm just memeing on you, kid.
Or so he says.
I like you.
I like it. The fic was interesting, right? But I feel like there's just, like, a little too... Like, it has potential, but there's just a little too many things that bothered me.
Yeah.
Some inconsistencies.
Origins.
So, I'd give it a negative
I have
C out of 5 stars.
Negative C.
A C?
Out of 5 stars.
Negative C out of 5.
10. Fresh, rotten rating.
Yes.
Just call them pages. It's simple.
So, it's a negative C out of 5
Pages.
stars. Less than Cooper's.
Not as good as Cooper's.
And
At least you're aware.
For well-writtenness, but for entertainment, I'll give it like a 4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I was also like, what the fuck? Is this a car? Is it a spaceship? Why did it go from 500 to 300,000?
What is the
Why does he
over?
have the hammer?
Did they service 10 people or 7? We don't know.
It was no more than 10. It was more than 10.
Why do you need a hammer to do an oil change?
Gotta hit a hole in it.
Why did he keep on calling him the other? Like, at first he was just calling him the breeder, and then he called him the
not
other.
good. You shouldn't... I don't care if they literally are an animal breeder. Don't call them the breeder.
The breeder.
Also...
That's an incel term. Don't use it unless you're an incel. And even if you're an incel, maybe don't use it.
Maybe
some
stop.
of these, like, alien stuff based off of, like, actual alien canon stuff from other stuff? Because it kind of sounded like it.
Maybe. No, it sounds made up.
Tala, Zoran, Fibrltr.
Yeah, that sounds so shitty it has to be made up.
It sounds like some Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy stuff.
Yeah, it's
But
like a parody of aliens.
None of those terms are like in the book.
Well, no
At
one
least
got
in
off,
the first one.
So...
No one got off, unfortunately.
No one got off. Not even with those 4 hands.
Those 4 arms.
Listen, that's a lot of stuff happening.
Those arms can get it.
I like ya.
Okay, Riley.
Pushes
You
soda
wanna
down with
hear
all
about
4
mine?
arms. Ooh, woo.
Ooh, ooh.
Lifts up scarf.
Blushes.
Feels a warm light pressure.
Gets off on a
Oh my god. Oof.
What is your fan fiction? We're running on an hour and 5 minutes.
Good.
To be fair,
We got
a lot of
content.
it was just a lot of stuff I'm going to cut out because it was silence and awkward and
Well,
getting...
tell us about your fan fiction, Riley.
Mine's not a good example of aliens, but the main character is technically an alien because it's Batman and Superman. So here we go.
That is... Superman's your alien?
Well, aliens was in the tag, and aliens are in a singular bit. They use this tag very generously.
Oh, you know what? I should have read a Rick and Morty fan fiction.
You should have. I thought it was going to be more relevant than it was, but it was too late by then, Paige. I don't want to see your judgy looks, okay?
It's okay.
That's
Sorry.
what I'm seeing. I'm seeing judgment
I
in
know
your
it's
eyes.
a lot of hard.
Yeah. Fucking dumb,
I'm just-
brainlet, can't even talk.
I can't speak today.
You can't speak any day.
It was really hard to just not find straight up porn.
Yes. This isn't porn. Probably.
Probably.
So, we're following Batman at the beginning of the story.
Whoa, Batman's an alien? What?
Shut the fuck up, bitch. No. But Batman, he's in his cave. And he's just being all emo and by himself, like usual. And
Yes.
Alfred's trying to be like, you skipped dinner for like the 12th time in a row. What's wrong with you? He's like, oh, just leave it here, Alfred. And he's like, okay, there's definitely something wrong.
Yes.
I gotta look into this. But before he gets a chance to ask him further about it, Bruce is like, just leave me alone. I'm doing extra training, okay?
Yes.
And he goes off into his little room. And he's like, okay, I gotta call backup on this. And then we skip to a bit where Batman and Superman are traveling to, I guess it's a town, but they're in a ship and they're going on a mission, essentially, is all we need to know.
Rocket ship.
But all of a
Zooming
sudden,
through the sky.
yeah, all of a
Little
sudden there's
Einstein.
like a burst of light and energy, okay?
Yes.
And then their powers are swapped. And by that, I mean Batman has Superman's powers.
And Superman
has
super
no
rich.
powers. Yes. And they're just like, fuck, we're already on this mission. But we swap powers. But they're gonna be expecting us. I guess we'll just swap costumes now. Because we already look identical. So we might as well masquerade as the other.
Okay.
But, Batman's like, Batman's in his outfit and he's like, I can't control my strength. Superman, help me out of this outfit. I'm just like, you fucking,
Sexy.
you absolute creep.
Hot.
You absolute creep. He's like, alright, I'll help you out of this. But I'm not helping you put the spandex on, okay?
It rips the spandex.
So
Ooh.
he's just like,
Feels a
Warm
warm
light.
light pressure.
essentially it is that. He does feel a warm light pressure, but nothing really weird happens. He's just like, ooh, woo, when he gets like a little groped, right?
He just grabs his penis and is like, ooh.
Not quite.
You like that?
I don't think it was
I
quite
like ya,
that.
Grab.
I like you.
I like ya. I don't think it was quite on that level.
Yeah.
bitch. This is a T for teen fanfic, I'll have you know.
Okay.
Hey,
bitch.
some freaky
Okay.
stuff happens in teen rated stuff.
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it do.
Yeah. So, they switch outfits. And at this point, they get to the village and they're like, okay, we gotta help out here. So they're just doing big help out stuff.
Being good people.
And Batman is pretending to be Superman, so he's going around, like, lifting shit and doing all the heavy work. And he's flying, carrying some stuff. All of a sudden, he gets, like, a notification in his brain. And then the world fades to black. Psych, it was a simulation the whole time. Batman is in the Batcave, and Oracle's trying to contact him like there's a bank robbery going on, Batman. He's like, can't you get Robin to do it? I was in my simulation.
Superman was feeling me up.
Yeah.
It
I
felt
was having
real
a good
good.
time. Getting felt up in my simulation. She's like, I really think you should deal with this. He's like, no.
He was
Send
like,
Robin.
I was having fun. I was being Superman.
I was lifting stuff. Come on, Barbara. She's like, oh, come on. Okay, we'll send Robin, but if it gets too much for him to handle, you gotta go for it. He's like, okay, just let me get back
Poor Barbara.
in my simulation, okay?
Which Robin?
Probably Dick.
Okay.
If she's Oracle.
If she's Oracle, it ain't Dick.
It's not Dick. Is it Drake by then? It's not Tim, is it? It's not Jason. He was only around for like 5 seconds, though.
Don't think about it. Turn your brain off.
Surely not Damien.
No, not yet.
It's Tim.
It's Tim. We'll say it's Tim. I don't know
You're
the timeline on
more
that.
versed on the Batman lore than I am.
Yeah,
Listen,
I know a little
I
bit.
know too much.
She knows too much, apparently.
I don't know why I know all the stuff I know.
You just learn it because, you know.
I've
Why
read
not?
some of their comics, you know.
Yeah.
It's good.
Listen, it's like
It's
how
good.
I know way more about bananas than I should.
No, it's different. That's
not the same at all, Cooper. What the fuck? Is this like the thing from 8th grade? Do we need to have a discussion?
What? No.
Okay, your what no wasn't
What do you
very
know about
convincing.
bananas?
I
Tell
know a
us
lot
what you
about
know
the
about
history
bananas.
of the cultivation of bananas.
Okay, go back to the fic. Go back to the
Okay,
fic.
okay, let me help us out.
Undo,
Okay.
delete.
So, Batman goes back in the simulation, but Barbara alerts him a little bit later and is like, okay, it's too much for Robin. You've got
You
to
need
go.
to stop fucking Superman in your
Please stop.
simulation.
So Barbara's like, please, you gotta go help him. He's like, oh, fine. And he goes in his Batmobile and drives away. And then
Is it a
we...
spaceship or a car?
It's both. And then we go
Well.
to Superman. And Alfred's like, yeah, he's been acting weird lately. You should go see what's happening.
Alfred goes to Superman?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know.
Why would that be the
They're
first?
best friends. Lifelong friends.
Duh.
At first was like, I don't know, and then was like, I actually do know.
Okay, you know what? I can see it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
They're
It's fine.
BFFs.
It seems weird at first, but then you're like, you know what? It makes perfect sense. So he goes in, and Barbara walks up. Well, I guess she doesn't walk up.
Yike!
What?
When Barbara's
She's in a
spoilers.
wheelchair.
Oh.
When Barbara's the Oracle, it's because her legs got fucked up via Joker and is in a wheelchair.
Also, I think it's a digital. What I actually didn't mean that because I meant it's a digital avatar, but we'll pretend that I meant that. Okay.
Yikes.
And Barbara's like,
Oof.
hey, Clark, he's been acting like super emo lately, and we don't really know why. He's been saying he's been doing like these weird training simulations, and I kind of want you to look into them because
No!
he's just been so emo.
Hold on, do you know how upset I'd be if I was like, oh, my superhero best friend's been having a hard time with their simulations. Let me look at it. Oh, it's just me groping them in their simulations. Oh
God.
my god.
Oh.
So he's like, okay, I don't really like invading his privacy, but if
It's
you're
gotta
worried
be
about
done.
him, I'm also worried about him because I'm Superman. So she's like, yeah, you run up one of the simulations, okay? And I'll hack into it while you're running it up. So there you go. And he's like, okay, I'll just pick one of these random scenarios. So he picks one and he runs up the simulation. And let me clarify this, he is himself, but in the simulation he's Bruce. He's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking to an AI version of himself. Just to clear that up preemptively.
Yeah. He's him pretending to be Bruce talking to himself.
Yeah,
That's not
but
him.
he like his body is Bruce.
Yeah.
But he's himself.
Yeah, it's like when you play a video game, you're
yes.
playing a character.
Of course. So he's there.
Yes.
And he looks around
Makes
and he's like, I remember this mission. This is a mission me and Bruce already did. Why is this a scenario? He's like, oh God, wait, I remember this mission. And we're just, the audience, we're like, what was this mission? So things are playing out. Like they're in their ship and he's like having deja vu on the conversation, except he is Batman, so he's playing Batman's side. He's role playing as Batman. And he's weirded out. He's kind of weirded out because he's talking to himself. And he's like, okay, do I talk like that? I guess I do. But,
I would be like, ew, looking at myself.
so they're in the ship, and they're on the way to the place. And Superman, I'm gonna call Clark, and Superman is the AI Superman.
Okay, so Kent Clark Clint.
We're leaving that in, okay? So
I was
Superman
trying to replicate what Holly does.
It's an integral part of your character page.
No, that was on purpose.
He's going over to this artifact that they have, that they got earlier, and he's like, this is a weird artifact. And Clark is like, oh, that's a familiar artifact. Oh, wait, I remember what this artifact does. Superman, don't pick it up! And then there's a flash of light. And then they look at each other. This wasn't in the tags. They're both women. They've both become women. And at this point, I'm like,
oh.
Why?
I've been like, this is how I looked as the opposite gender, huh?
Cool beans.
And he's like, oh God. Superman's like, oh my God, I remember this. But the way they're writing this, I think this happened in a real comic.
So, Clark
is a female version of Batman looking at a female version of himself. Just to clarify that.
Batman.
Immediately I'd be like,
Bruce, what have you been doing in these?
I'd be like, why did he make this a simulation?
I feel like immediately I'd be suspicious, but he's like a dumb country boy. He's like, I don't know what's going on. And he's but Clark's kind of looking at Superman like, I'm hot as a girl. He's kind of like looking himself up and down like, yeah. I'm just like, are you not weirded out by this?
No, because he's like,
But he also sees himself as Bruce woman in the mirror, and he's like, I am also hot.
I'm hot and I'm hot.
I'm just like, why are you not?
Oh.
Why is this what you're thinking of?
What is this?
But they're both like, oh no, you fucked up. Yeah, I did fuck up.
You fucked up, kiddo.
And they're like, okay, I guess we just gotta deal with this. So they're sitting in the spaceship, and they're playing out the conversation like Clark remembers, except all of a sudden Superman apologizes, and Clark's like, I don't remember apologizing. And then Superman, I should say, starts giving him the stare, stare. And he's like, wait, I don't remember this. Like, this is wrong. This is not what happened. And he's like, I'm gonna go in my room now. Nice talking to you, but bye.
I'd be like, did my best friend just sexualize me as the other gender and want to fuck me?
And he escapes the room, and at this moment, he's taken out of the simulation. And he's like, thank God. And Barbara's like, what did you see? What was that about? And he's like, nothing. It was nothing at all. And she's like, okay.
We'll talk about it later.
Bruce wants to be a girl that fucks a female Superman.
This is one of many simulations.
So one of his fantasies is, I want to be a girl fucking
It's implied
my friend.
that there's hundreds. There's hundreds of simulations.
Oh, God.
And she's like, okay, I won't ask you about that. But I'm not done hacking into this.
Can we
but,
do another one? Surely not all of them are
she's like, yeah, roll up another one. And he's like, I'm
not ready for another one.
I'm not comfortable with this, Barbara. I think we should stop. And she's like, nonsense. We're only halfway through. Keep going. He's like, okay, I really feel uncomfortable with delving into his privacy any further, but I guess I can be talked into it.
Well, also, no doubt he was a little curious after that.
Yeah,
I'd be like, what else do they have of me?
I need to see at least one more, right? So he rolls it up and he's going into another simulation. And he's Bruce. What?
Do you know how sad it is if someone makes a simulation of you, like...
Shh. He's Bruce, and he's in the Daily Planet, and he's chilling there, you know, trying
like a
to
villain.
Figure out how to be a billionaire, act like a billionaire. And all of a sudden, on the news, it's Superman. He's gone crazy. He's lost it, and he's robbing a bank. So he's like, oh no, Superman, me, is like mind controlled, I guess, or something happened to him, or like this is an evil version, whatever it is, I gotta find out.
Yeah.
But he's kind of awkward about being Batman, so he's like, you know, I'm not wearing the suit under these clothes. I don't know where he keeps the suit. I guess I better call Alfred.
Where is my super suit?
Have you seen my
Essentially.
super suit?
And he is like, okay, I'm gonna go in my Batmobile, but it's just a normal car right now, because he's Bruce. He's gonna go in his Batmobile, and Alfred's there, okay, via the computer, and he's like, okay, so what should I do about the situation, Alfred? At this point, if I were Alfred, I'd be like, this isn't him. This definitely isn't him.
I feel like, did you hit your fucking head?
And he's like, I know you're under distress because your best friend is mind controlled, but you need to get it together. There's a suit in the back. You should go to LexCorp because that's definitely what's happening here.
Okay.
And he was seen on top of the roof, so he's like, okay. So he goes to LexCorp. He goes nearby, and he goes inside like a crate or something to awkwardly change into the bat suit.
Is he like, why the fuck is this so different?
Yeah, it took him a long time, apparently. But he comes out, and he goes onto the roof of LexCorp, and he sees Superman, a.k.a. himself, and he's like, Superman. Because it says that he lowers his fucking vocal register when he pretends to be Batman. Even though he is in the body of Bat. Listen, I don't understand it. He's talking to himself, and he's like, what's wrong with you? And the other version is like, stay back, I don't want to hurt you.
Why is your voice so
I
weird?
don't want to have to hurt you right now. He's like, Superman. What's wrong with you? Come here.
Why were you a woman in the other simulation?
Oof. What are you wearing? Open your mouth. What are you wearing?
I want to feel your light
But
pressure.
he's trying to like approach him, and he's like, oh yeah, Batman keeps kryptonite in his belt. So he pulls out the kryptonite in his belt. Superman's like, kryptonite.
Oh no.
And he's holding it near him, and he's like, what happened to you? Who did this? And Superman's trying to fight it, being like, it was Lex Luthor who did this, And, like, Clark is like, okay, well, I know what Batman would do in this situation, because I can't release the kryptonite, or else, he'll be mind-controlled and he'll kill me. But I also can't just murder him, right?
Yeah, because it's me.
So he stabs him with the kryptonite. He's like, oh god, I feel bad. I feel bad doing this. I feel bad stabbing myself.
He's like, oh, that's
Like,
really
oh,
fucking
yikes.
hurt.
I know how Bruce feels now. And then he's like, okay, he takes Superman's, like, limp body. He's alive, but, you know, filled with kryptonite. He takes his limp body.
Barely alive.
And he's like, okay, let's go to the Batcave, and we're gonna heal you and stuff. Ooh. So, you know, time passes faster in the simulation, so it's only been minutes in the real world. But it's, like, days later in this simulation. He spent a long time in this one, relatively.
Yeah.
But it's been days later, and Superman walks up to Bruce and is like, do you want to come to my apartment for some coffee?
After you've healed me from my
Yeah,
kryptonite
after you
stabbing
healed
you've
me.
given me.
And Clark it was something like, he's too polite to say no, so he just goes with it. So
Clark or
Clark.
Okay, thank you.
He-
Wait.
Clark is being Bruce. He's role-playing as Bruce.
Would he be like, Bruce is too polite to say no?
No,
or is
he's
Clark...
too polite
okay.
to say no.
Okay.
So they go to his apartment, and he's like, wow, Batman really nailed all the details on my apartment. This is
That's
creepy. But then they go into his room, and he looks over on the nightstand, and he sees a photo.
I thought you were gonna be like, a bottle of lube.
No, this is rated
No,
No sex.
He sees
No
a
nasties.
photo of himself and Bruce, like I guess arms like this, looking genuinely happy.
Like arm over shoulder.
Yeah. And he's like, it's weird that Bruce looks happy in this photo. And then he's like, wait, I don't own this photo.
Do you know how sad that is?
This isn't a photo in my apartment.
If you were like,
At this point, I was like, oh no, this is obsessive sad.
if you were like,
This isn't the angst
I
episode.
I assume my best friend Paige has her room set up, and next to her bed is a photo of her and I smiling together, having the funnest of times. I'd be like,
Oh,
Ooh.
God.
well, we can take a photo and I can frame it if you want.
So, Clark, he's taken out of the simulation at this point. Barbara's like, so how was that one? And he's like, oh, this is a bad thing to be doing. But also, he zoom and enhances on the photo, and he takes, a screenshot of the photo.
That's cute.
It's not for cute purposes.
Oh.
No.
And then he's like, Barbara, I really don't think that we should have been doing this. I really think this is crossing the line.
I saw the ooh-woo.
You like that? Ooh-woo. I put a lot of ooh-woos in here.
What?
But, and he's like, oh my god. We need to stop doing this. And Barbara's like, did you, see something? What happened? And he's like, this isn't good. This is bad.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do this. This is a breach of his privacy. She's like, okay, but we're almost done. And we're really worried about him and stuff. Clark, come on.
I'd be like, I know what's wrong at this point.
Yeah.
And he's like, and she's still hacking into it. And she's like, okay, I got it. I hacked into it.
What would be the point of hacking into it?
To find out why he's so emo. Because she was like, we're all worried about him. What exactly are in these training simulations that's making him so sad all the time, right?
Okay.
And so Superman gets an idea, and he's like, can you make this to where when he gets on the simulation, I can see what's going on as well?
That's also an invasion of... This is an invasion of privacy. But it's an invasion of
Yeah,
privacy.
right? I was like, okay.
He doubled
all right.
down. He doubled down.
Well, I mean, Barbara keeps convincing him, come on.
I'm surprised she didn't volunteer to see what was going on earlier.
Yeah, she didn't. When she was hacking into it, if I were Superman, I'd be so worried she could see everything.
I know.
But she couldn't. She was just like, alright, okay. I guess it was weird. So Superman goes and hides somewhere in the Batcave, and she gives him this little thing that's
like a creep?
yeah, you can, you'll be yourself in the simulation instead of the AI that he normally has.
Wouldn't Batman notice? Whatever.
Well, yeah, he probably would notice. And it's as soon as he turns it on, you're gonna be in the simulation as well. So Batman he drives back up into the cave and goes into his little room and revs up his simulation, not knowing that Clark is in somewhere else, logging in as well. And so it goes back to the simulation at the beginning. It's continuing it, right?
A warm light pressure.
And Bruce is thanks guys. He's he was captured by the people. What?
Yeah.
There were people at the beginning? I don't even know what was going on in the beginning, but he was
carrying
captured.
cars, the last I heard.
Cars? They weren't
Something
cars.
heavy. Yeah, I pictured
Anyway.
cars.
Pretty sure they're cars and not
It's
spaceships.
just a later point in the same simulation, okay?
Yes.
But he was, like, kidnapped, and he's getting, like, slightly tortured.
Just slightly.
But, Clark burst in, and he's like, whoa, what are you doing? Stop torturing him. But I guess he still doesn't have powers, whatever, who cares? And he gets Bruce, and he's like, what are you doing to yourself? Why is this what you're doing to yourself? Like, he gives it away immediately. He's like, why are you hurting yourself like this, Bruce? Everyone cares about you. What's going on? And Bruce is like, simulation shut down. And he because he realized, and Clark struts into the room like, what the fuck is this? What's going on here? He's like, it's just training simulation. This is so I can keep my mind on edge. He's like, training simulations? Then why do you have the one where we became women?
He says that?
Yeah. And Batman's like, you've got to be prepared for anything.
I feel like that one's a funny one.
You weren't supposed to know.
What are these for? And he's like, just relax, okay? These are to keep my mind honed and shit. He's like, okay, but why don't you explain why there's a photo of me and you looking happy in our room?
In
my room, in my apartment, in the simulation. Literally, that couldn't be there unless you added it by yourself.
He's like, I'm gonna design his room. I'll put this photo of us.
And Batman's just like, it's a photo. What does it matter? It doesn't matter. And he's like, you need to answer these questions. Stop dodging. What is any of this?
I'd be like, why did you invade my privacy?
Like, yeah, he did say that at the beginning, but he's like, we were worried. And it's like, they're just arguing when all of a sudden, Batman is like, simulation shut down. And Superman disappears. He disappears in front of his eyes.
Oh.
And he says to himself, of course he wouldn't understand. And he goes to his computer and he's like, delete all logs. Archive. Deleted. And then the story ends. I'm just like, oh my god!
I don't feel good about that.
I don't.
That was really sad.
At the end, I was so sad. I was like, I have no investment in this ship, but what the fuck?
Oh my god. That was a simulation of what would happen if they found their simulation?
Yes! And that explains why they were both so, like, invasion of privacy the whole time.
What the fuck?
I was just like, Batman!
So it was a simulation that Bruce was in where Superman
Yes.
got into his simulation to where he was pretending to be himself talking to himself. Yeah, but it was all Batman watching.
You know the gif of the woman doing the math? That's you right now.
Did he see what Superman was doing, or did he do the bank robbery in the simulation and come back to see how it all came together?
Did he see what Superman was doing? No, Superman was never there to begin with.
No, I mean, did he see what simulation Superman was doing?
Yeah, I assume he knows everything that happens because he made the simulation.
Okay. So he made it to where Superman would definitely invade his privacy and then reject him?
Yes.
Why?
He was just feeling angsty that day.
He's got to keep his mind on edge. Got to be prepared for any
It's just a
situation.
photo. It doesn't matter.
In the simulation, did he actually do the bank robbery in the simulation? Or did he watch Superman do the stuff in the simulation with Barbara?
What?
Like,
he's not Clark. He never controls Clark in the simulation.
So he just goes and does the bank robbery and comes back and he's like, this is a conclusion.
Yeah, he's not playing all the characters. He's only himself.
Well, I was just wondering if there was no robbery and there was just like, the viewer version of like, if you're playing a game, you don't have to play a character, you can just be a viewer. Like, I'm watching you. I wonder if it was like that.
I don't know what he was doing. I guess observing. He was observing what Sim Clark was doing the whole time.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
That was sad as fuck.
I didn't expect to be this sad.
Sad man.
But it was pretty good. Like, honestly, I don't
intense.
give a shit about the ship. However, I did feel emotions when reading it, so that's something.
I really wasn't expecting that at the end. That made me really fucking sad.
This is called Simulation Hypothesis by Fictional Knight and Scund. Yes, Scund.
Scund.
You like that?
I was like, Scott, John,
Scott,
Snake,
John.
and John, Scund.
Scund. That's hot.
Scund.
What'd you read?
Hey, writing, there were almost no errors, and it wasn't too wordy.
Quality.
And it wasn't too under-detailed. So honestly, like, top-tier writing on this one. Solid. You know what? I'll be nice to it. I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even give the Pokemon one that.
It's fine.
Entertainment, I'd give a solid 7.5 out of 10.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I was pretty entertained. Especially at the end. I was just like, holy shit.
Oh, simulation.
And then I'm like, simulation over. Podcast ends.
This whole podcast was a simulation the whole time.
This whole simulation.
Like, holy shit, that was
holy simulation.
That was a spicy meatball, though, man. That was angstier than the angst episode.
Dang, where was that fan fiction when we did
I don't
angst?
know.
Honestly.
All I had on the angst episode was some fucking fluff.
I'm just so sad now. I'm leaving this podcast in a bad mood.
You're welcome.
It's okay, I have some Cheez-Its. That might make you feel
I'll
better.
eat a handful.
Cheez-Its.
Okay.
Can I have a handful of Cheez-Its?
You can have a handful.
You know what?
of
I already
Thank you.
feel better. Fuck Batman.
Fuck Batman. Fucking loser. Just tell him. I'm sure he'll leave his long-time wife.
You know, maybe Batman just needs some Cheez-Its.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, that's the end of the podcast.
Yeah, it is the end of the podcast. But what's the tag for next
Oh!
week? Or the theme? Or the fandom? Food.
I'm not sure the pace we should amp it up because my mind is only like 1, 10.
I know, my mind was like hybrids AU, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go into all
Ooh,
of
let's
that.
do vampire.
Vampire.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Vampire.
Hey, that was a good one.
You know, it's funny because I just designed a business card for my aunt
Hey, vampire
who
shit.
wrote like a vampire series.
Get it?
Oh shit! Congratulations.
What's it called?
It's called
Stan
Rules
it.
Undying.
Rolls?
Rules.
Rules Undying.
Rules Undying.
Check that out. But
Go-
check out our
check
podcast
out my aunt's
first.
book and podcast. Well, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please tell your friends. Tell us what you think of the episode too.
Simulation over.